Jayashree, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
In the meantime, while the other participants also join in, may I introduce you to Ms. Jayashree Rattihalli. Jayashree she is a legal consultant. She dons many hats actually. She is a legal consultant. She's an advocate. She's an arbitrator, mediator. She's a law teacher, and she is also now the founder associate of ProLegis Associates, which is based out of Mangalore. She basically hails from Mangalore, or rather, she lives in Mangalore. She hails from Karnataka and Bangalore, I think. Her areas of expertise include commercial law, consumer protection, alternative dispute resolutions, POSH Act, and she is very much into the real estate projects. She provides a lot of legal consultations on real estate projects, etc. She is an empaneled arbitrator and mediator with Indian Institute of Arbitration and Mediation, Dispute Resolution Forum. That's one of her own ventures. She is also on board with SAMA. She has also served as a legal consultant in various, large projects, like including Chamundeshwari Build Tech, JB Builders, Northern Sky Properties, and a whole lot of cluster Hinduja housing finances. The list is pretty long, in terms of her clients. And she also holds a law degree from Bangalore University, a master's degree from Karnataka State Law University, and is now presently pursuing her PhD also in the areas of dispute resolution. And as a part of her social engagement, she has also been a founder member of Evolve Mangalore, and she's been the founder member of Dispute Resolution Forum, founder member of ElderNet. And the list goes on. She is a versatile professional, law professional. And she has also had some really hands-on experiences in the areas of geographical indications and plant variety protection, which she would like to share some of her experiences and insights into the subject. So we are very happy to have Jayashree. Thank you for being here with us. And we look forward to your session, Jayashree.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So, good morning, everyone. So the discussion for today would be the criteria of protection when it comes to geographical indication and plant varieties. So this area has been my interest right from my LLM days. So I have done few research and I've presented few papers on this area. And I have been part of some of the geographical indication societies which are working for geographical indication in my locality, that is Udupi and Dakshin Kannada. I have been part of the society which is working for Gulla Badane. It is a kind of a vegetable brinjal, variety of brinjal, which is having very huge history by itself. Like they believe that it actually originated maybe 200 or 500 years ago, and it also has some relation between the scholar Madhvacharya. So they say that it was created by him for the goodness of the people who were located in this particular area of Mattu. Mattu is a district, it is a small town in Udupi district, and this kind of huge heritage the GI has. So to begin with the basic concept of GI, as I was telling you, as I was giving you example about the Mattu Gulla. So when I was telling you, I also told about the history of it as well as the quality of that particular product, which is attached with the historical and cultural heritage of that particular place from where the product is originated. So to have a quick introduction about what is GI, GI is kind of a mark which is given to a product. It is usually given to products. So this particular mark which is given, it represents the quality of the product. So when it comes to quality of the product, as soon as we hear this for any given GI product, we associate the product along with its geographical location or the locality from which that particular product is coming from. So we all have heard about Kanchipuram sari, right? As soon as we hear the word Kanchipuram, we associate that with silk sari, and which is known for its authentic and elegant look which is associated with the product. So the same way, when it comes to GI, it is a mark which is given to every product or any product which is registered under GI. So this product will be representing the cultural heritage and tradition in which the production is like in which it is involved. The production is involved. So we have also heard about Dharwad Peda. So as soon as we hear the word Dharwad Peda, Dharwad, we associate it with Peda. So as soon as we hear this word, we will be able to associate or we will be able to relate it to the taste which is made with, which is there in this particular product. So what is the uniqueness of this Dharwad Peda? Why is it given GI? So what you can understand here is it is the original Dharwad Peda is made with the buffalo milk, which is there, which is available only in the region of Dharwad, which will be processed and then the peda is made. So GI tag is given to the Dharwad Peda, which is made in Dharwad. It is owned by a society which is working for the upgradation and also promoting the authentic quality of Dharwad Peda. So this is about the introduction about GI. So when you hear about GI, you can understand that it is a mark which is given to a product which is associated with the quality. The quality of the product is associated with the geographical location of that particular product from where it is produced. So moving on to the next one, we can also call it as like when it comes to patent, when it comes to trademark, the owners of these marks are usually the companies or the corporate houses. But when it comes to GI, it is called as pro poor mark. So most of the people who are from like the natives, who are from the villages, who are from the small cities, they are the people who are owning the major GI registrations in India. So Karnataka stands almost the second highest GI registered state in India. So if we have to see what are the products which gets GI, the first one is agricultural products. So we have many vegetables, we have tea, we have coffee, we have fruits like orange, strawberry, peach. All these products are also given GI when it comes to the original authentic taste of that particular region. Apart from that, we also have products which are related to fisheries. We have products of handicrafts. We know the Madhuban painting, we know the Tanjavur painting. All these are having GI. So apart from this, we also have artisan goods, like we have bangles, different types of bangles, saris, and all these authentic jewelries from Tamil Nadu. All these are also given GI. So in the process of my discussion, I'll be explaining you about few more products which are included in the GI. So you can consider, as I told you, it is considered to be the GI is considered to be poor mark, where most of the people who own this GIs are the societies, which involves and includes huge number of people who are residing in that particular village or that particular district. So moving on to the next thing,
I just have a question here, Jayashree.
yes,
Can a state own GI? Can the state itself own? Or is it given to societies or trusts or something like that?
yes, state actually cannot own a GI mark as such. It will be given to the organized institutions or trusts or the societies, which involves people from all walks of life. It can be few officials, it can include few, most of the thing, it will be including the local residents of that particular region, along with, if at all, if it is necessary, even the few of the officers, if at all they feel it is necessary, we can include them, but it is strictly restricted to people who are from that particular locality. They have to be residing in that particular locality. They can represent through a trust or a NGO or a society or an institution, and they can apply for GI.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Acha, one more thing. I wanted to put. I'm sorry to interrupt you. This
I think
fishery,
we'll keep it more interactive, actually. We'll keep it interactive. So,
No, no,
yeah,
it's
please
okay.
go.
No, no, I just wanted to. I mean, just to verify. There is fishery. How fisheries become fishery related to the fish only, like this?
Fishery products. So we
Yes.
have few fishes which are originated in the lakes as well as the rivers. So they have
Yeah, yeah.
unique quality which is based in them, which is included in them. So these products are also included, even though we don't have many registered as of now, but it is a category which is allowed to be registered. It is not included
Correct.
for the marine which is there in the sea or ocean. This is included for the like the fisheries which are originated from the rivers and lakes, which has
Yes.
unique taste or texture or unique quality.
Yeah, such as it's like one famous fish which is called hilsha. Say it cannot be I mean produced even in any part of let's see, it is a combination of sea and river, which is
Mm.
produced basically in Bangladesh, and partly it was available in previously before in West Bengal. So because of I think it is system of breeding is that at the time of breeding this it will come out from the sea and enter into the upstream of the river, and they give the lay the egg, and after going from a process till he go to the end of the sea, I mean end of the river meeting to the sea, at that time it became a big one.
Okay.
So this is not available. Actually, it cannot be. So that can be, as you were telling me, it can be tagged like GI. Correct?
Yes, sir. Like when it comes to the like as you told, it is a place where it is meeting both sea and the river. So these kind
Mhm.
of specific, uh, like when it is a specific kind of a situation,
Political locations.
yeah, we need to observe. Like even the registry will have some guidelines which they follow to get registration of these kind of products. Like when it comes to fisheries especially, we don't have complication with any other products as such, but when it comes to fisheries, these kind of very minute information will be collected by the registry while they go through the application, and then it will be approved.
Thank you. Carry
So
on.
I think this falls under the category of something called natural goods. So you have agricultural goods, you have natural goods, and then you have man-made, manufactured goods or whatsoever. So probably the fisheries can fall under the natural goods,
Yes.
right?
And in Andhra, they say like Andhra fish, it they supply throughout India almost.
Mm.
So they have a particular culture. I have seen in all coastal Andhra, they prepare small fisheries and they will put it and particular fish and they will put it. And it will go throughout India. Even it goes to north, it goes to east, and in Assam also it goes. So one can say that it is okay. It is a particular product. Like even in my home state also, it is called it is Andhra fish.
Okay. Yes, even though these kind of products are not so very popularized even now in India, but still it is in a very huge phase of growing when it comes to GI in India. Because if we see around 5 to 6 years back, and if you see the numbers which are registered right now, we have huge, tremendous growth in registration because people are getting educated about what are the economic gains which they can get if they have GI. Like, and even the export import. Even the recognition which is given to the when it comes to export, when there is a GI tag is huge. That is the reason it is popularized now everywhere. So moving on to our discussion, if you
Yeah.
just see,
Mm.
I have given few names or the
Yes.
names of the region, and I want if any of you can if you can tell me what is it related when it comes to Kanchipuram. Yes,
Kanch,
as I
is
told
it saris?
when
Saris.
it comes to
Tanjavur,
Tanjavur,
Tanjore
these
is
are
painting.
Tanjavur, Mysore silk.
yeah, Mysore silk. Coorg again, we have 2 3 registered GIs from Coorg, which is called as Scotland of Karnataka or India. So we have
Yeah,
Coorg orange, we have Coorg
I
coffee, yeah, we have cardamom from Coorg. All these are registered GIs coming under from Coorg. So when it comes to Ilkal, so most of the ladies who are always attracted to saris and know about what Ilkal stands for. Ilkal is known for its
I do not know where it is. Ilkal.
Yes, Ilkal sari is very famous in Karnataka, and it is almost kind of a must-have sari for most of the women here who belong to Karnataka. So coming to Kutch, we have the handmade work, Kutch work, And Dharwad, as I was telling you, it is famous for its peda. And coming to Tirupati, we all go with divine this thing, but GI is tagged for Tirupati Laddu also.
Yeah,
So
correct.
yes, so we have these products which I have mentioned. So the region as well as the famous products which are having GI tags. Moving on to who can apply for registration. So I would like to explain you one case which I was very closely associated. After that, I think in my discussion or the story which I tell you, you'll be able to understand and relate who can make the registration. So this is about the Udupi sari, which was very much there in parts of Dakshin Kannada and Udupi. So here we had sari which were cotton, which were woven in the handlooms where specifically almost like in the area of Udupi and Dakshin Kannada. Even though Udupi and Dakshin Kannada, that is Mangalore region, is not famous for textiles, we had this from very old days. It is almost like it is traced back for 250 years old. Makkas are still there, it's still there in the region. So in this, like we didn't know what kind of, there was no recognition which was given to this product. Even though they were making it, they were selling it, they did not know what was the importance of GI or whether they were eligible to get GI or not. Very recently, there was a drive or the movement which actually started, which was called as Revive of Udupi Sari, wherein most of the wherever the home based makkas were there here in the region of Udupi and Mangalore, we had a small survey where people went, the representatives of the society and the trusts, they went to each places. They collected the information of the people who were involved, the families which were involved in this, and then we could collect around four societies, which were like we could make around four different societies which were working for the upliftment of these handloom maggas which were there in the region. And collectively, we applied for, like they applied for GI and they got the GI, which is today called as Udupi Sari. There is a mark which is given to Udupi Sari. And if you are buying any of the cotton saris which are sold in this area, it will have a mark which is called as Udupi Sari mark, which is very uniquely made. So when it comes to who can apply for GI or who can apply for registration, we have to understand one thing. This cannot be owned by one person, because as we are telling, it is about the region, it is about the geographical location. It has to be given to people at large who belong to the particular region, whether it is a small village or a taluk or that particular region, which includes two districts or people who are involved in that particular kind of activity in any given region. So, any association of persons or the producers or the organization or authority established by or under any law applicable. So, as we were discussing, it can be an NGO which is working for like the non-profitable organization which is working for this particular reason. We can apply for GI through them, or it can be any society, or it can be through a trust also. So the application must be the applicant must be representing the interest of the producers. It cannot be it has to be collective interest. It cannot be one person's interest for which we apply. So moving on, the application should be written in a prescribed form, which is there, which is prescribed in the website. We have to follow the same thing, and the application should be addressed to the registrar of geographical indication along with the prescribed fees. So the registrar of geographical indication is here in South. We have in Chennai. So initially, like if you have, yes, sir, you have a question?
No.
Okay.
Carry on,
So
carry on.
initially, whom to apply? Like, if we have to see whom to apply, where to apply. Like, you can also understand that GI and trademark are most of the times with like the common men, not the people who have some information about this. Common men usually get confused between trademark and GI, whether it is the same thing. I have many people when we go for representing Udupi Sari, as I told, I'm associated closely with them. When we represent in any of the exhibitions or big expos, usually they ask us, is this the trademark? Is this the trademark which you have on your saris? So we try to explain them. It is not trademark. It is called as GI. So most of the times, the common man, they try to get confused between trademark and GI, but it is very clearly told that GI is completely different from trademark. So people who have information about this will be able to identify. Even though it is also a mark, we will not have what is called as TM there. It is a slight, like it is a very popular way of identifying. Usually trademark will have the TM, but the GI, the mark which is given to GI will not have anything called like anything which is written along with it, like GM, TM, or anything like that. So this is how we can identify whether that mark, the given mark, is geographical indicated mark or the trademark. So trademark is usually given to the companies. As common man will not be able to understand this particular differentiation, we tend to try to tell them about what is the difference and how we can identify a trademark as or a GI. So whom to apply? It is to the registrar, like under section 3. They also have the uh, authority. And in our country, we have, like in India, as of now, we have the geographical indication registry in Chennai. So we have to apply there. So how it should be applied? It is a technical for like a technical format which has to be followed, wherein we file the application. The examination will be done. So as I was telling you, when the application is filed, it is very important aspect which has to be observed here is whether that particular product, the quality of the product is associated with geographical area. How and S, like whether it that has to be fulfilled. So if we can take one example of chili, like we have in India, if you see, we have three types of chili. When it comes to southern part of India, we have what is called as Guntur chili. We call it as Guntur chili. We call it as Gadgi chili. And if you just see generally, we also have what is called as Kashmiri chili. So, what is the uniqueness of this particular chili, which is associated with the geographical area? That is why, and why? What is the reason why we have registered GI for these chilies? So, when it comes to Badagi chili, Badagi is a place which is in Karnataka. The chili which is grown here, will the skin of the chili will not be this as the regular one. It will be very what you call as a scrambled kind of a texture which will be there on the skin of the chili, which gives a very unique taste, as well as it will not be very spicy. It can be used for any kind of food. It will not be very spicy, and this gives a very good color. So if you just see what is the reason why this chili has this nature, the reason behind this is this particular area of Badgi, which is there in almost the central part of Karnataka. Like it is not in the southern part, it is not in the northern part of Karnataka, but it is towards the central part of Karnataka, wherein we have the atmosphere here is almost like a Malnad, as well as it has the required humidity. It has the required kind of a dryness which is there, which has to be there in northern part of Karnataka, which is usually identified in northern part of Karnataka. So mixture of these two kind of climatic condition, which is almost very cold, as well as it has required sun. The combination of both gives a uniqueness to this particular chili which is grown in this area, which makes it to be not very spicy, and it makes it to be giving that kind of a texture and color. The mud, the soil which is used, which is there present in this particular region, gives it a very good color and texture. So combination of all this has given a uniqueness to this particular product, which is called as Badagi chili. And that is the reason, like when we are filing any application, any given application as such, okay, so the product has to have a uniqueness which is associated with the geographical location. So this is a mandatory when we have to file any kind of any application for GI. This is the very important thing which we have to remember. There has to be a uniqueness of the product which is involved, or which is proportionate to the geographical location from which it has been originated. So as we were discussing, there will be examination, different ways of examination, different methods of examination which will be done for the product. When the application is given, it will be examined in different ways. So once the examination is completed, once all the criteria are met, the next process will be the acceptance of the application, and they will be issuing the certificate, that is the GI certificate or the GI mark as such. There is always a mark which is given to each GI application. So when you are understanding this, like the whole process will be completed within 12 to 18 months. Each process will have certain months duration for the processing of that particular application. So once it is applied, like once it is accepted, the mark or the certification will be given. So the next question will be, who will be receiving the certification, and certification will be given to whom? So the answer is
Important.
yes. So the
That is important because I think I just interrupting you because the product, suppose a chili is good, every people is growing. So many people are mass are involved
yes.
growing these chilies. So one person cannot get it. So is it state based? Okay, this is the responsibility of the state authority will get the GI tag. So anyway, you are going to explain it. I do not know
Yeah.
how it
So
will
the
be.
next very important question which comes up to our mind is, who will own the certification? Who will have the certification, or the certification will be given to whom? So the answer to this question is, it will be given to the applicant. Like applicant, if it is a trust or a society or an institution, group of farmers or any university, whoever it is, they will be getting the certification. So all people who are registered will be able to use this particular unique mark which is associated with the GI. So, for example, if we are having around 5 acres of land, which are maybe 25 acres of land, which is involved in growing 25 acres of land, which is belong to one particular village, where most of the farmers are growing this particular chili. For example, as we were discussing about Gary chili, if this is the scenario, so all these 25 different farmers who are like 25 or 50 or how many number of any number of farmers who are involved in cultivating this particular product in this particular area of 25 acres, which is identified, has to register to this particular institution or the NGO or the society or the trust. They have to get registered themselves to this particular institution, and they will be given the permission through this institution to carry out the activity, and they will be getting the unique mark to be marked on their particular product. So you can take, for example, Mattu Bulla, which I was explaining to you. So here it is a very small area of Mattu which is involved, like the area which is involved for this particular brinjal. For now, we have only 6 farmers who are involved in cultivating this particular brinjal. As soon as the cultivation is done, as soon as they harvest it, they will be given the sticker which will include the GI mark. So each and every brinjal which comes from these farmers will be marked, will be having that sticker on that their brinjal, and it goes to the market. So the society will be giving the distributing this particular. So the farmer has to go. The farmer has to go to the society, and he has to mention that he has around 100 harvested brinjals. So he will be given 100 stickers from the society, and he has to stick on these brinjals, and it goes to the market. They have one more option wherein the farmers directly come and give it to the society. Society will do the marking, they will do the stickering and things like that, and then it goes to the market. So when the product of GI, especially when it comes to vegetables, fruits, it is considered that each and every GI tagged vegetables or the fruits should have the mark. Not only for this, with all the products as such, it should have mark, the GI mark. So all the like all the products as such will have the mark, and then only it can go to the market. So this is how we identify the uniqueness of GI tagged product. So when it comes to eatables like Dharwad Peda, how will they have the GI? This might be a question. So their packaging will have the GI mark, especially the Thakur Rao Peda, which is very famous in Dharwad, it is having the GI. So every packing, every box will have the GI mark there. So as I told you about the saris also, if you go to any sari shop and ask for Kanjivaram sari, they will give you a sari along with a mark, which is also called as a silk mark. So they have uniqueness of Kanjivaram saris which are recognized. So even that mark will be there on that particular sari. So when it comes to Udupi sari also, that is the same thing. Even with the Ilkal saris, when it is an original Ilkal sari with silk mark, it will also have this tag along with it. So what is the use of this particular tag? It is you like as soon as we see that particular tag, we will be able to understand what is the quality of the product, from where it is coming, and we can also understand that it is having the uniqueness as well as it is having the good quality. Okay, so I have told you about application format. Like it has to be filled or it has to be given by group of producer. It is usually not given to individuals. It is only given to the group of people or group of individuals as such. Only those kind of groups can be representing the application. Like they can give the application for GI. So this is the technical format. I think it is not required as such. Because it's well there in most of the like the website. It is very clearly given there. So the next thing is what we can understand here is about the examination. So what will be examined, what are the qualities which are examined of that particular product? So we'll be checking the application as such, the technical formalities which has to be filled up, that has to be done. Along with that, as I was explaining you about the uniqueness of the quality, which is very which is involved or which is directly proportionate to the quality which is related to the geographical place. So the quality of that particular product has to be it has to be related to, or it has to be depicting the geographical location. So this taste, even though we grow the same chilies in some other area of Karnataka, we will not be able to get that particular taste. The reason is it is about the mud, it is about the climatic condition, and all of this which are involved. So the first and foremost thing which will be examined is that the quality of the product which is proportionate to the geographical location of that particular place where it is produced. Okay, so after and there are certain technical formalities which will be followed, wherein the notice, in case the objection is raised. Okay, so in case the objection is raised, then what will be the procedure? Both the parties, whoever is raising the objection, will also be given an opportunity to come and represent themselves, and they have to tell why they are objecting. So we had the case with Mysore Park, we had case with Rasagulla. These cases, like when it comes to Mysore Park, we all were associating it to the taste of Karnataka. We were associating it to Mysore, which is presently in Karnataka. But there was an application which was told that it is not from Karnataka, Mysore, it was from Tamil Nadu. The actual Mysore Park came from Tamil Nadu because Mysore was part of the Tamil
Yes,
region then.
at that time.
Yeah, so that was the reason. And these kind of objections, both the parties will be given an opportunity to be heard. They will hear both the parties, and then the final decision will be given. Even with when it came to Rasagulla, both
Rasgulla.
Orissa as well as West Bengal were telling that it was origin from their own state or region. But after observing both the applications, they came to the conclusion that Rasagulla from Orissa has its own unique way of making it, and West Bengal has its own way of making it. So it is noted in two different names, and both the states have it. So we'll be analyzing that also in our next case study. So what will be the next process after giving the application? It will be published in Geographical Indication Journal. So within 3 months, if at all anyone is having any objection over it, they have to make the objection before that. Okay, apart from this, yeah, apart from this, the process is very simple. Once all the process, as I was explaining you, the process is completed, the registration of the application will be done, and the product will be recognized as a GI tagged product. Okay, so there are technical aspects which are involved with this, and most of the times we have we have the IP which is given to particular duration. But when it comes to GI, it has to be renewed. It has to be renewed by giving certain applications. They have to submit few applications, which tells that this particular product is still a unique one. The uniqueness of the product is still taken care of, and all of these specification has to be given. and then it can be renewed. Okay, so who are the authorized users? As I was telling, so,
Actually, I have a question here. Just 1 minute. Now, you were talking about the geographical indication marks, right? Like a label or a stickering or something that they will be given. How can a common person identify this? Is it by a number or is it a particular mark or like a certification mark that you see? What exactly helps a common person identify the GI mark?
yes, ma'am. It will have a small mark which will be there in most on all the products. That is what it will be, almost similar to like how we have trademark marks which are there on each product which has the trademark. The same way, the GI tag products will also have the mark. The difference between two is that trademark will have the mark along with TM written
Yeah.
there,
Or
but
R.
will
Yeah.
have general mark.
Okay. 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 That's the difference.
Will
All
be
right.
sticked on each of the products. Like if it is individual products like vegetables or fruits, each of those will be stuck. The stickers will be given. If
So
it
just like what we are seeing apples with that Washington apple or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
something
that's
like that would
exactly.
be something like that.
yes, it will be very similar to that. It will be like that only.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. When it comes to handmade products and things like that,
Yes.
the packaging will have the mark. The
Right.
product, not the product assets, the packaging will have. When it comes to
Okay.
chili and these kind of products, collectively in the baggage, they will have the mark.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Suppose if it is a product is very small and have GI tag, so then in the outside the package they will give this GI tag, not instead of the fruits or something, whatever may be. Correct?
Yes, yes. Based on that particular product, the stickering will be done. We have the brinjal sticker, what I told, it is a very small one which is stuck to each brinjal. So, yeah, so based on the product, the size of the product, the stickering will be done. The mark is the regular, like it will be a smaller one for the smaller products, and you can make it big for the biggest products also, based on their packaging and their appearance, how it is, the sticker or the mark will be given to them. Yeah, so
Okay.
we have the mark for coffee also. So the packaging of coffee will have the mark. We have it for cardamom. We have it for pepper. So all this, the collectively, the packaging will have the mark on it. So it is compulsory that they should have the mark sticker which depicts the mark on that particular product, the packaging. If not, it will not get the recognition of GI. So this is how it is. And moving on to the authorized users, who are considered to be the authorized users, the producers of goods, whoever is there in that particular region. So, for example, if we are taking, as I was explaining you about the Badigi chili, so if we have around 25 farmers who are involved in cultivating this particular product, they all have to come together and they have to register themselves for this particular trust or the society which has applied and got the GI. So they have to register themselves. They will practically go and see whether they belong to this particular region. They are whether they are coming within this 25 acres of land, and based on that, they will be recognized and they will be given the certification as authorized users. They can use this mark, they can cultivate, and they can give this mark to their products. So even the group of producers can also apply, like we were telling about the saris or the handmade handicrafts and all of these, the collective people who are from that particular region, they can come together and they can be the authorized users of this particular mark. So moving on to who are authorized to use it. So all the producers, all the persons who are there in that particular region, they can use this mark. They have the authority to use the mark. Their name should be entered in the register of GI. So when we give the application through any trust or society, all the people who are claiming or who are coming under this particular region, their names will be registered. So that's how we will be able to give them the authority to use. So the next question might be that there might be someone who newly joins or who starts this particular business after the
Yeah.
registration process has done. So if that is the case, they have to give an application to the organization, that is the society or the trust which is applying for, which has already applied for GI. So they will take the application, they will give the recognition, and they will submit the same information to the registrar. So this is how we will be able to include new people also. So we will be able to include new people who have started off the business in that particular locality. So when it comes to cultivation also, if at all they were in some other involved in some other kind of cultivation, and now they have changed their mind and they have come back to about the chili in that particular area. If they were growing some other crops like cotton or sugarcane or anything like that, if they have changed their mind and they have come back to cultivation of chili, then they will be given the authority, like they will be given the permission to grow, and their names will be sent to the registrar, and they will be given the authorized users position. So moving on to the next one, we have discussed about GI. So there are many products which are very unique all over India, which are known and which are given GI. So it is almost like every place, like when we are traveling, when we go to that particular state, we will be like most of them commonly also people who are not so much associated with GI also, they go and look for something unique from that particular region. When we go for a family trip, when we go to some place, we usually try to eat or try to buy something which is from that particular place, right? So like when we go to Goa, we usually go and have the cashews there because it is known for it. And when we go to some other place, like when we go to especially Tamil Nadu, when we go to places like Tanjavur, we try to take the places like paintings which are made in that place. So this is how it is. So most of the time, even though it is given legal recognition, it is given GI, it is there in our own way of life. Like most of the families, when we go out to any place as such, we do this. It is kind of a regular, what we call as custom, which we do, right? When we go, we try to eat the food which is famous in that place. We try to buy the things which are famous in that place. But in the normal or in the new era, we relate that to GI. So whatever which is famous for that particular region, it is recognized through a legal way, through a IPR, which is called as GI, that is the geographical indication. The reason, if we have to analyze and understand, what is the reason? Why do we take GI? Why do we get GI for a product? Can you just tell me general understanding?
It should have some, I think, financial value.
Come again, sir?
No, financial value will be there, no, for GI tag.
Yes. Yes. So if it is misused, if at all the GI tag or the GI, the recognition is misused, and people from some other region also start producing the same thing and give or use this particular name, there will be tremendous loss for the people who are actually the cultivators of that particular place, right? So that is the reason, to give the economic strength or to give the security for the people who are economic security for people who are cultivating from that particular land, it is important for us to recognize or protect the GI. So when it comes to state-wise registered GI, so almost Tamil Nadu and Karnataka has the highest registered GIs. As of now, Karnataka stands in the second place, and Tamil Nadu stands in the first place, where they have maximum GIs which are registered. So if you see in Karnataka, around in 32 districts, almost 20 plus districts, each district is having their own GIs which they have registered, and maximum number of GI is registered with food in district. If you see district wise in Karnataka, Coorg has maximum number of GIs, because they have different types of coffees. Around three different types of coffees are having GI. They have oranges which has GI, cardamom which has GI. So this way, even the agricultural products as well as the handicraft and other products all over India has maximum number of GIs which are registered.
And also, I think it also matters a lot in the context of global presence. So, if every tea was called Darjeeling tea, something which was grown in Munnar also. So, the global identity, it might lose its global identity. So, that's where I think also GI plays a very integral role in the global markets.
Yes, rightly pointed out, ma'am. Well, like if you just see the basics or from where the importance of GI started off in India, we can go back to the Darjeeling tea case, where it was recognized, which was registered from some other country, and it was they were having the recognition and all benefits, and the localites were not having. the case gave us very important, like when we study this particular case, we will get to know that how important it is for each geographical area to register their GI, because like if it is misused by some other person or some other companies as such, it is going to be a huge loss for the people who are from that particular locality. They will not be getting any kind of recognition also, and they will not be getting any kind of economic income also. Economic gain also will not be there. So that is the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
it's very important for us to register the GI in any given area as such. So there
Yeah.
are two important case studies which I have tried to include in this discussion. The first one is about the Rasagulla, which we were speaking about. Both West Bengal as well as Orissa, they were claiming that they origin, like the Rasagulla is origin from their own state or from their own region. So it was a monopoly. But in this particular case, it was dealt in such a way that both the states, they have got their own Rasagulla, and it is named differently also, and it tastes differently also. So I have explained it in a previous discussion of ours. And moving on to the next case about the mangoes, like we have Alfonza mango, we have different kinds of mango. So this mango is originated from Andhra Pradesh, and like the reason why I have included this case as the case study is that this gives us very in brief, and it gives us very details about how many number of people were growing this particular mango and what was the benefit which was given to them. So this particular kind of a mango, which has which is yellow in color, and it also has very unique taste, which is associated with the climatic condition as well as the soil from that particular region. So it is called, like, it has a kind of sugar kind of a taste which is included in that. I think sir can associate if he has tasted that mango.
Yeah, I'm regularly, because I'm staying in
Uh,
Hyderabad, because so I know this taste.
yes.
So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
it definitely it is a unique,
I think actually
unique
both
taste.
cases relate to Mr. Deepak very well. They are well fitted for Mr. Deepak because one was the Rasgulla case and now the mango case.
Yeah,
He has his
Rasagul.
association with both
I'm
geographies. They're
from
very,
Bengal.
very close.
So
Yes.
yes, it is definitely
Yeah. So what you can understand here is that yeah, even though
please
it
tell
is
me.
recognized, it was known, like the problem, like the thing is, this particular mango, even though it was the same thing, it was called in different names in different regions, even though it had the same uniqueness. So they united themselves together and they gave this a particular name. uh, that is what they give a particular name, one name, and then they registered the GI. And now this particular like this particular fruit has the GI tag, which is in yellow color, which has both men and women who are holding this mango on that, in that sticker. And this is stuck on all the mangoes which are from this region. And almost many people who were from this region and they were cultivating have got a very huge economic gain from this. And it is also recognized that this particular mangoes are exported from the month of April to June to US, UK, Japan, and Gulf countries. And it is bringing in a very huge economic gain to the people who are from this particular region. So, this is how it is. Even though it is a very small region, the fruits which are grown there or the unique vegetables which are grown there have the market, not only local market, but they have markets even all over the world. This is what is the uniqueness of GI, and this is what is the advantage of having GI for any given product. So, any questions or any discussion which is required more on any any part
Uh,
of this discussion, if
No, I
you.
think as I belong to Assam, because there are so many things are there also. I do not know whether it is already tag is there. Like as you are telling, sarees like Assam silk. That is also very famous silk. I do not know whether it is there on J tag or not. But like hottest chilies in the world,
It must be
which is
there.
available in Nagaland.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, it is in Nagaland. So there is also this particular Nagaland varieties of hottest chilies. which has been taken by the US, United States of America, and they have taken this. It has come into the National Geographic Channel. Why they have taken these varieties from this to? They wanted to make some weapon, etc. Because it is so hot that if you touch the screen of these chilies, it will start burning immediately. So I don't know whether you have seen or not, but it is really very hot, very dangerous. So I do not know whether it is have GI tag or not.
Yeah, yeah. And I think there's also one of those Mexican chilies, which is quite similar to what Mr. Deepak is telling. Very, very spicy. The alpinos, right? One of the Mexican or something, which they say.
I have taken Mexican chilies. I have a
Yeah.
colleague, so one of Mexican, he brought it. But the
Okay.
hottest chilies that I am talking about, the Nagaland, it is. I mean, if you just by the hand, if you touch this skin of these chilies, and if you not wash your hand, and by mistake, if you put your finger into your eyes, then it will start burning any part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is identified. Like they have done few researches on the based on GI, and I have also done one research. Like I have submitted a paper wherein there are so many products which are capable of getting GI, but based on the negligence, like maybe because of the
Awareness,
lack
I
of
think.
knowledge
Yeah.
or
Nobody's
some kind of
interested.
Awareness,
there are
awareness.
also political reasons which are involved for not having registering few of the GIs. So in the district where I reside, that is Dakshin Kannada, I had identified around 15 different products which could get GI. But there are certain political issues which are related, which is also associated with the neighboring district, which is restricting them for taking or applying for GI. Like we have the lady's finger or the okra, which is grown
Uh,
very uniquely in Dakshin Kannada, which has the white kind of a texture on it, and it gives a very unique taste. It is very potential product which can be taken GI, like which we can apply for GI, and it has a huge market in Gulf. So like just 250 grams of dried or dehydrated lady's finger or the okra of this kind costs us around 600 rupees. So this is the
Baba.
unique, yeah.
Mhm.
So this is the potential, but there are certain aspects which are involved in it, which they say that it is not origin from here, it is origin from the region of which is partly in Kerala now, the northern Malabar region. It is not from the Dakshin Kannada, but it was from that region. So there are certain kind of political issues also which are involved, which are restricting people from getting registration, and also unique jackfruits, especially the orange kind of a jackfruit, which is from Tiptur, Tumkur. Near Tumkur, we have a region called Tiptur. From there, this kind of very unique jackfruit, which will be like we call it as Chandra Halasu in Kannada. It's going to be orange color. The taste which it cannot be replaced with any other jackfruit as such. It is also potential for getting GI, but that is what it is having some like issues which restricting them from applying for the GI. So as of now, as of today, we have around 504 GI tags from India, and maximum tags are from Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. The southern part of India is having more registered GIs, even though there are potential products from North India. Like it is only the South India which is first to register the GIs as such. Okay, so with this, we conclude the discussion on GI, and we move on to the discussion about plant varieties. I hope there are no questions, so I move on to the next very
Move, move, move.
yeah
Yes.
aspects under IPR. So we have what is called as plant varieties. So there are restrictions which are there. So if you have to understand the overall background about what are the plant varieties and how the protection is given. So as such, in across the countries, there are two options which they can go for protection. One, either they can go through patent, or they can go through sui generis, that is the individual and independent form of protecting the plant varieties. India chose for independent way of protecting plant varieties, and that's how we have an independent act for it, which is called as the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Act, PPVERRA. Okay, so this particular enactment specifically deals with the protection of plant varieties. So the statutory body which is involved here is the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Authority, which is coming under the Department of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, Government of India. It is coming under the central government as such. Even the ICARs or the state government agriculture department is also having certain wings which work for the protection of plant varieties as such in their particular locality. So what are the varieties which are protected? The first one is the new variety, which is very new, and the extended varieties, the farmer's variety, and also the essential derived varieties. So if I can give you one example, or if I have to share a story with you. So when it comes to Goa, this is a case, or this is the story which usually takes its root from Goa. So in Goa, there was a festival which used to happen in the month of December and January. So the festival was that all the children in that particular locality or the village, they had to collect together, they had to come together, and they had to eat maximum number of watermelons, and they had to spit the seeds all over the village. So this was the competition which was given, which was done in this particular locality. So if we go back and see what would be the reason, all the children were called upon. They were given the watermelons, which were grown only during this season. This season, it was a feast which used to happen in this particular season of every year. So all the children were called. They were asked to eat the watermelons, and they had to go. The competition was they had to eat it, and they had to spit. They had to throw the seeds all over the village. So if you can just if you can connect and tell me what would be the reason, what was the reason behind this?
I think the seed, if they throw it again, the seed will grow into that area, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, they wanted to propagate. They wanted to take this
Yeah.
particular fruit to the next generation. They wanted to take it to the next year also. So this particular kind of a festival was arranged. This was an example which was given, like, so the story which is narrated by the ex chief minister of Goa. He, when he recollects his childhood, and he writes this story. So if we can go back and understand what would be the reason is our ancestors had many ways to protect their seeds. They wanted to protect their varieties. So what were the different methods which were used traditionally are, they used to collect the seeds, and they used to coat it with cow dung, or they used to coat it with some soil and keep it in their own places at home
Got
to
it.
sow it again in the next season. So these were the many traditional way of protecting the varieties, the seeds. That is how they used to protect the seeds, and they used to grow the varieties for next year or the next season. So when it comes to the technical way of doing it, when it comes to the technical or the legal protection for these kind of varieties, so we have a law, as I told you, we have a independent law or the independent enactment which governs this particular law, that is the PPVF Act. It also includes the farmer's right along with the plant protection. So what are protected? The protection is given to the new varieties, which is not there in the public domain as such. For 1 year, that particular new variety should not have been there. So these kind of unique new varieties are given the protection. And when it comes to any product which is not there in India, which is there anywhere else, it has to be that in India it should not be used for last 6 years. Okay, so with this criteria, we can go for protection of new variety. And when it comes to the extant variety, so we have many plants. There are many. If you just go back and see what vegetables we used to have in our childhood, we are not able to give the same to the next generation. We are not able to give the same vegetables, or we are not able to give the same fruits to our children. Can you give me any example for any one extinct variety of fruit or vegetable from your region? If you can think of any vegetables or fruits which we used to have very regularly in our childhood days, but it is not seen at all nowadays.
Why exactly I cannot remember in Assam, in my childhood and now. Fruits and vegetables.
So nowadays, if you see the watermelon which we used to have, which has the light green with the dark green combination, the big ones, we are not able to see in
Okay.
any of the cities as such. We have only the dark green small one, which weighs around 3 to 5 kgs maximum, are the watermelons which we get nowadays. But when we were in our childhood, we used to get the huge watermelons with 10 kg, 12 kgs, which had the combination of two greens, the darker green and the lighter green. If you see in most of the cities or the districts now, we don't find this kind of watermelons. It's all almost towards
Okay. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. I still remember. I think it is in Allahabad. I used to get a watermelon. It's a very, very big size.
yes. And when you
As you
have
are
the
telling that, yeah,
texture of
now it
it
is
will
not there.
be, yeah, the texture, like when you eat it, it will have the sandy kind of a texture, which gives very good taste. But this kind of a watermelon, you cannot find it now. So there are many fruits and vegetables as well as the herbal plants which are in the line of extent now. They're all gone now. So there is a protection which is required for it, and that is also included in this particular enactment. Apart from that, we also have the farmers variety, wherein the farmers, they do their experiments in their own field, and they have, if they have come up with some new varieties, even that is given protection here. And also the essentially derived varieties, which are called as EDVs, even these kind of plant varieties are also given the protection. So predominantly it is derived from the other plant varieties. So essentially derived varieties, that the main essence will be taken from some other variety, and they would have created some other kind of a variety of fruits or vegetable as such. So these kind of products or the plant varieties are also given the protection under this particular enactment. So, what are the
Yeah.
criteria for? Yes, sir.
One question. I think this type of food, particularly various type of food and combination of food that I have seen, it is there in ICRISAT. ICRISAT, they are doing these jobs. Various type of fruits, a combination of two fruits and making something different. And particularly one type of guava I have seen, it is, I think it is never found other parts of India. I did not see. So it is a very big size in guava. That is also I did not see in even Bangalore also.
Yes.
So because I was there for 3 years, so I did not see. But this all are doing by the CRESAT. They are doing all. Of course, it is an organization which they are doing for all, doing the increase of productivity. Plus, this type of varieties also they are doing. So in that case, suppose if he developed, CRESAT has developed something fruits, so it will be under his tag, GI tag, something like that, or but because he is a scientific organization, so he is to give it to this somebody else. Okay, this variety can be developed into some arid regions. Okay, they are dry or something, whatever the reason. So he will give it to that. So whether it will be the farmers at that time they will get the GI tag or the research will get this.
Sir, it depends. As we have the ICARs and we have some scientists who are working along with the farmers. So, if the
Yeah.
maximum contribution is from the farmer's side, and it is only the technical help which is given from any institution or university, like they have helped him to conduct some experiments, or they have given some kind of instruments for him to conduct the experiments and things like that. If that is the case, it will be the farmer who will be getting the recognition. The university as well as the institution which has supported him will be noted. They will be telling that the with assistance of ICAR of this particular region has helped him to get this particular recognition. So their contribution, if it is only for the technical aspects, then it is going to be restricted. Like their recognition will only be for the technical help, but the variety will be in the name of the farmer himself. But if the whole process is done with the help of the farmer and the university or a organization, then it will be recognized together. So his name, the farmer's name, along with the institution, or they will be merging the institution, him along with the institution, and the institution will be getting the recognition. So it depends upon what contribution is given by the farmer and what is the contribution which is given by the institution as such which has supported him will be recognized or will be taken to consideration while giving the protection or the like plant variety recognition. They consider both of it.
Okay.
So, yeah, moving on to the next discussion about criteria for protection of plant varieties. So, what are the criteria which has to be considered here is the first and foremost thing is novel. It has to be a new variety. It should have some
Unique.
uniqueness from the other already existing variety. It should have some uniqueness. So, we have one kind of a rice which is very popular nowadays everywhere. Wherever you talk about healthy food, wherever you talk about diet food, we have what is called as Atumudi rice, which is considered to be a new kind of a variety, which is like almost popular everywhere. So this variety of rice includes less starch in it, and it has more of fibers, which contributes to be a very good staple food. Apart from like when you compare to rice, any other rice, this rice is very healthy for people, especially who are suffering from diabetic, because it has very rich fiber in it. So these kind of uniqueness should be there. Like we have rice everywhere. We have rice. It cannot be just a rice cannot be a novel. Like it cannot have the quality of novel in it. So what is the novel or the new thing or essential thing in the new variety is that it should have uniqueness. It should be a unique or a new one to people. Like as I told you, it has more fiber when you take it 100%. The starch and other components come up to 30%, and 70% of it includes the fiber portion. So if that is the case, it is unique and it is a novel thing. That is the reason we will be able to get protection under plant varieties. And next thing about the distinct, it has to be something, the characteristic of that particular variety has to be distinct from any other variety. So it has to have some different, it has to be different in the nature of the components, or it has to be different in color, or it should have less number of. So we have different varieties of grapes, right, which comes the green grape or the black grape. All these the new varieties which are recognized and which are protected have the distinct characteristic in it. So if you have a seed also, it will be only one seed, one big seed in it. So it is a distinct thing, because generally grape will have many number of seeds, small seeds, but the distinct varieties might have been in such a way that it has only one seed, or it has no seeds. It can be seedless also. So this kind of a uniqueness has to be there in that particular variety to get the protection under plant varieties. And one more thing is that the all cultivated products, it has to come up to the same thing. It has to be uniformly grown, or it has to have the uniform outcome. If that is there, only then we will be able to get the protection under plant variety. And stable. It grown in any season, whether it is grown in the monsoon season or otherwise also. Grown in any season, it should have the stable this thing
Just a-
is stable. Only then we will be able to get the protection under plant varieties. Okay, moving on to next important aspect here. What is the duration which is given? So this depends upon what kind of variety of plant which is recognized. When it comes to trees or vines, it is for 18 years. Any other crops, fruits, vegetables, all of those are given 15 years. Even the extinct varieties are given 15 years of protection under this particular enactment. So the next question which arises here is about who can apply for the registration. Who is eligible to get the registration? The first thing is the breeders. Breeders can be individual group of people, or it can be a company, it can be a private limited company also sometimes. So the breeders have the right to get the registration, or it can be their successors or assignees. It can be an individual farmer also who can apply for registration, or we can have group of farmers, as I was telling you, under GI. The same way in plant protection also, we can have any societies or trust which are registered by involving group of farmers, and they can all collectively go for protection of plant varieties which are grown in their own area or region. Okay, so apart from that, even the universities can apply for registration of plant varieties. So especially in most of the agriculture universities, they have many varieties which are registered under them, and they experiment it and they give these varieties to be grown in their own region. So we have many varieties of jowar, which is grown with the guidance of University of Agriculture from Dharwad. So this way we have very many examples from even from Bangalore University, Agriculture University. They have many varieties of grapes, many varieties of brinjols which are grown through the farmers who are from that particular region. So they are all protected under the plant varieties, and they have uniqueness, and it is also restricting the others from using this particular variety, growing this particular variety, and having any kind of economic gain from it. Okay, so who can apply? It is the breeders, their successors, or the assignees when it comes to the company, or it can be individual farmer, it can be group of farmers also, and it can also be universities who can apply for registration of plant varieties. So moving on to the next component or the next concept, what are the crops which are identified for registration? So when you understand, like if you have to understand this concept, we have to analyze. There is a notification which is given from the central government which very specifically tells that only these kind of products or these kind of plants and varieties of the vegetables or fruits can be recognized, or they can be having any number of experiments on it. Only when we have any number of experiments we'll be able to find out new varieties, right? So that is the reason there is a notification given by the central government which tells very specifically which are the products, or the which are the vegetables or fruits which can be experimented, or which can go for experiments for protection of plant varieties. So in that we have around 147 species which are open for registration. They can experiment on it, and they can come out with new varieties. So this includes cashew nut, turkanut, it includes tamarind, it includes turmeric, it includes neem, nutmeg. We have cherries, apple, peach, strawberries, millets. So in all of these, including this, we have around 147 different species which are open for experimentation and which are open for registering new varieties. So we have very many combinations. We have more than 500 plus plant varieties from this thing itself, like pulses. In pulses itself, like the rice, jowar, ragi, millets, in all of these, we have more than 500 plus new varieties which are registered. Even we have extended variety which is registered under this. Apart from this, we have around 300 plus vegetables and fruits which are registered, and we have like herbs which are used for which has medical or medicine nature in it. Even they are protected. So all the list of products which are mentioned in by central government in its notification, only they are open for registration. This is very important thing which we have to remember. So if we come up with any product or any plant which is not coming under this particular list, if we come up with any new kind of a variety, it will not be recognized. So first and foremost thing, when we are applying for plant varieties protection, we have to make sure that we are coming under this particular list. Only then we will be eligible to go on for the registration process. So what is the process of registration? It is almost the same. We have to apply, and the examination will be done. Once it is accepted, once it is accepted, it will be getting the certification. So who will own the certification? If it is the farmer who has applied, then he will own for himself. If it is a group of people, then they will be using it. So in case of objection, so what kind of objection can be raised here? If at all the similar kind of variety is like it is protected already, then the companies or the group of farmers or a farmer can raise the objection. There will be an opportunity which is given by the registrar to give the counter statement from the both the parties. And after examination, if it is accepted, again it will come back to the same process. They will get the issuance of the certificate. So moving on to the next one, we also have exemptions for plant protection of plant varieties. So the farmers shall be entitled to like those categories where the farmers themselves, as I was telling you about a few ways, what the traditional ways which farmers are following for keeping up their, like to store their seeds and things like that, they cannot be challenged. So whatever process or whatever small thing which the farmers they do they do from the uh, like as their ancestors were following, those kind of procedures cannot be challenged anywhere. The farmers are exempted. They can use the like age old way of storing the plant varieties or seeds, or all of these things are allowed for them to do. And researchers are also exempted. They can use the varieties for conducting experiments, and it can also be used for initial source of varieties, and they can come up with some new kind of variety. They are also exempted, the researchers and the farmer.
So
So
that is something like exception to the infringements, right? They are not considered as infringements. These
yes, if at all
situations
they are
where the
used, it
farmer
is not
can use
considered,
of
it
it.
does not come under the category of infringement. It is
It is
free from.
not infringement.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. So moving on to the assignment, like we have, this is a, yeah, this example or this case which we can consider, Haryali Nimbu is a variety of plant which is developed by a farmer from Madhya Pradesh who is named as Harilal. So if he wants to take protection under the this particular enactment, list down the process of registration. Can just like with the explanation whatever I have given you till now, can just analyze what could be the process of registration, and you can write it in some maybe 10 to 15 sentence.
Okay.
So this is one assignment which I have given.
Mm.
So
Sure.
Okay,
here
So
fine.
this
we
will
have,
also be shared with some of the participants who have not attended today. We will have all the participants to just write the, maybe in the form of a workflow or in the form of some kind of a small write-up. We will have them just, answer this particular assignment.
yes.
Mhm.
So here what has to be observed here is, so what could be the name? Can we give this name while giving the registration? Can we give this name as such, or should we include any other unique name along with this? So initially what happens, what you can understand here is, most of the time, like most of the cases as such, when we see the case, the name of the product or the plant will be associated with the farmer's name. So if at all, imagine this particular variety
Correct.
goes for registration, it will be Harilal's Haryali Nimbu. So the reason why we include the name of the farmer is, it is going to give the unique name, as well as it will give recognition for the farmer. So that is the reason. So when you are writing the assignment, you can have this point in your mind, and you can give the name. You are like, how it goes on is, you have to give the name of the product. When you are giving the name, make sure you give it along with the name of the farmer. So yeah, you can just list down the process of registration here. It is very easy,
Okay.
and I told you have to give a name and you have to write the uniqueness. You have to just think about what can be the uniqueness of this particular variety. You can imagine and write, and then you can also write the process of registration, which will be considered while evaluating the assignment. Okay, moving on to the next
Okay.
part. If you have any questions, any clarifications, you
No,
can ask.
no. That's fine. So, thank you very much. And this, particularly regarding the assignment, means this, okay, step by step procedure, the process of registration that will be explained because you have already elaborated everything. And regarding the name, I can give any name, correct?
Yes. So name has to be given, and then the process. Like you have to write about the uniqueness of the, like when you are writing, you have to just
Yeah,
write the name.
of course, that will be given. Means a person's name should be of, okay, this name should be of a unique nature.
No, it is not compulsory, but this is how it is usually happening. Like this is how we
It,
give,
it
like when it comes along with the registration, it is going to be like that. The name of the farmer will be included along with the that particular variety.
yeah, that's what I understood. That's good.
Yeah, it is going to be a recognition which is given to him, right? So that is the reason we include their name along with the register, the name of the protected plant variety. So
Mm. Okay.
I think with this we have concluded the criteria of registration with regard to geographical indication as well as plant varieties.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for your patience
Very
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
listening to this one.
Thank you, madam.
Excellent. Thank you, Jayashree. Thank you so much. It was a very insightful session. I think these 1.5 hours have just gone by, with so much
Yes, yes,
learning
yes, exactly.
and a very,
Really,
very new
this is true.
concept. Because we always
Yes,
focus largely on patents or trademarks, which is the most, of course, the
yes.
most important form of intellectual property and the most commercial form. But
Mm,
GIs and plant varieties are almost, many a times we just don't consider the importance of it. But here we understand how important it is for the farmers, plant breeders, the producers of certain particular kind of goods or crop, and how important it is to bring them to the market with a particular tag, with a particular name. Even that is a very important branding. So we always ignore branding in agriculture, considering it's the most common thing for us to do. But I mean, we see the importance of it here, both in terms of GI as well as protecting under the plant varieties. Thank you so much for bringing us
thank you.
so much, knowledge into the registration aspects, understanding the criteria of it.
Yeah,
Very much
thank
appreciate.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.